Okay, I'm back now with my panel, and we were talking about Bill Clinton's, the former president's, comments yesterday to Black Lives Matter protesters, the former Secretary of State and current presidential candidate, how she has responded as well. So Bob Beckel's back, Van Jones, Angela Rye. We're having a very good conversation. So, Angela and Van, I'm not sure if you understood my question. Yes, I agree. Black Lives Matter, very important. But I asked the question of, and I think this is what Bob was trying to say, where are the people who are shouting down presidential candidates on both sides of the aisle for kids who are gunned down innocently, for people who are killed every single night? And explain that to our audience.
I think a couple of things. One is, that's the gun control movement. That is what folks are standing for, whether you're talking about Lucia McBath, who's Jordan Davis's mother, who's standing with other moms whose kids have been lost to gun violence, whether it was from a gangster, as Bob said, or it was from a rogue police officer or a vigilante. It's the same thing. And so that is a battle that there are bills that have been proposed. We couldn't even get a background checks bill cleared through the Senate, and that should have had bipartisan support.
Van, it doesn't get covered, but you say it happens every day. I don't.
Yeah, listen, there are Stop the Violence organizations all over. You can go to any city and you can find multiple Stop the Violence organizations. They go every week.
Are they at Hillary Clinton's rallies? Are they at Bernie Sanders rallies? Are they at Donald Trump's rallies?
Listen, they don't get attention. They go to every city council meeting. They go to state legislatures. They beg for help. They beg for dollars to do something to get kids off the street. They get their programs cut, and then the funerals happen, and it doesn't even get covered in the local paper sometimes. The people have been crying about this. So this lie that black people are not screaming about this, we're not heard when we scream about that. But when there's a police thing, yes, we get more attention for that. But I got to say something now. This does not make any sense. Bill Clinton himself, just months ago, took this off the table. Hillary Clinton said that this was a bad thing. Bill Clinton then, under pressure, it turns out he thinks it's a good thing to call children super predators. He defended the indefensible, racially coded term super predators. We thought that had been taken off the campaign. They put it back in play. That is horrible.
So he's hurting her now instead of helping her.
And he won't apologize.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell me what the value of using your energy, which is so well used in city councils and the rest of it, against Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton? I mean, I understand.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. His point was that black people are organizing on all levels to stop gun violence and have for years, whether the cameras are covering it or not.
I think that
the point remains. The point remains that this is Bill Clinton's bill. He signed it into law.
Angela, and so listen, I agree with you. And I know about those organizations, and I have worked in local news, and they don't get coverage. But what Black Lives Matter has figured out is that they get the attention because they go where the cameras are. They go to the presidential rallies, and other people are not doing that. Is it time for people to do that as well, to draw some attention to that?
Hey, Don, we can critique the strategy of black activists. I want to critique the strategy of the Clintons who wanted to go back into the White House. And if they cannot, the base vote of this party is the black vote. We give not 50%, not 60%, not 70%, not 80%, 92% of our vote to this party. I've never seen a Republican go TV and insult their base voters. Their base voters are white evangelicals. They treat white evangelicals with total respect. They would never, ever have a Republican candidate, front-runner, spouse, stand up and disrespect white evangelicals at anything. And yet Bill Clinton feels like he is free to stand up there and say not just mean things or rude things, but content-free, racially, to defend super predators? To defend that term? That's wrong. It's wrong.
You don't think that a vast majority of the African-American community agrees with that about predators? They live with them every day.
Not that.
Wow.
No.
Wow. Did that just really? Bob,
yes.
That is not true. No, it's not true. I'm not going to sit here and allow you to call black people predators. I'm just not going to do it.
I'm not calling, and neither was Bill Clinton. He was talking about people who are drug dealers and shoot people.
That is absolutely what Hillary Clinton meant in 1996, and that's what he defended yesterday, although he tried to walk it back today. We have to start acknowledging at some point why crime existed in communities like this anyway.
It would be a good idea if you didn't take people who have been very strongly in support of Black Lives Matter and
don't
dump
white
on them
explain
and
to
say
us why we should be grateful to the Clintons. Hold on a second.
I'm not going to be grateful to anyone who disrespects people who look like me. I'm not okay with people who look like me being called predators and inherently violent and playing into that very dangerous rhetoric, particularly in this campaign cycle. It is time out for that. It is 2016. If they were wrong in 1994, they're still wrong today, and we've reaped the consequences in unbearable ways. These communities and families have been ravaged. That is why a child who was born in 1994 could go to a rally tomorrow or yesterday and say to Bill Clinton, enough is enough. You jailed my brothers and my sisters and my uncles and my fathers and my mothers, and you need to answer for this because we are predators. That language has to die.
Who in the world said you were
Amen.
predators?
Bill Clinton.
No, wait a minute. He said there are predators out there who are drug dealers. I know a lot of them, and they kill people.
Hey, listen, nobody's up here defending drug dealers and killers. The problem...
But those are what we're talking about. When we talk about predators...
No.
If Bill Clinton says that some of these people who were incarcerated spent too much time in jail, and they spent so much time in jail that they wasted the resources that would have educated them and employed
Angela,
them, there's something wrong with that system.
Stand by. I want you guys to hold that thought. We're going to go longer with this conversation right after this break. Don't go anywhere.